Good evening. We're going to slow it and simplify it today because I have some of you that have requested some real basic movements. And this happens when you've been in lockdown or isolation, where you notice that there's kind of a snowball effect when you're not getting up and about a lot. You don't find the motivation, and we get more and more lethargic. So I want to start with just the most simple movement. I'm going to use a chair, and I'm going to use a very flimsy chair. All right, you can see it's not supportive. So I'm just going to put it to side for a moment. Put your hands on your lap. Sit up nice and tall. Engage your core. Lift your heart to lift your spirits. As you really pull that deep bow in the low back to regain the arch in the back, remember to tone your belly in and up and lengthen the front body. You'll feel the wings at the back of the heart lifting and opening in front of the heart. Broaden the whole upper shoulder girdle from the upper ribs all the way to the base of the neck. And as you're lengthening the breath and filling the lungs, you are strengthening the lungs, expanding the lungs, and exciting all those little fibers in there, and we need to do that. This is a flu virus that will be around for a long time. Most of us will probably get it, hopefully years from now when there's a cure and treatments, but right now we want to be prepared. Slow your breath, deepen your breath. Inhale, pull the bow deeper, lift the heart, tone the belly. Feel that all the way down the back. Exhale now. Gently press through your hands and round your back. And this is a movement that we do at the beginning of each class, just to warm the spine. As you're doing that, think good, positive, healing thoughts. It's okay if you're afraid and, just fearful of going out or catching this awful thing. It's okay, but you can't dwell on that, and you can't listen to the news all day. You have to spend most of your time strengthening your immune system and working on really good, healing, positive thoughts, so that if and when you did get it, you'd have tools for managing it. Let's give this one good twist to the left. Lengthen. Oscillate the head to relax the neck muscles. On the next inhalation, come back. Think traction. Think traction in your vertebra. We're so used to slumping that we're kind of damaging our discs. All right, here we go. Inhale. Twist right. Oscillate the head, and then look over the left shoulder. All right, inhale back to center, hands on the knees. Again, pull the bow. So here's the game. You're going to plant your feet hip width apart. And I want you to notice all through this session today how often you just relax into this kind of a posture. Let's bring deep awareness to our roots from the core through the legs, rooting into the earth. If you sit a lot, or if you've been convalescing, you're used to doing things like this to get up. And this is what I really see with a lot of my senior citizens, is them pressing through their hands to lift themselves up off of the chair. And so if you think about having roots from the waist down, you should be able to stand up easily. I make that look easy, but it's not. One of the reasons is if you have a forward head and rounded shoulders, or if you have a flat low back or a tailbone that's tucked under, then you have no choice but to lean forward, and you use your head as a counterweight to thrust you forward. So the first thing you have to do is really pull that bow, the bowstring in the back. It's like you're shooting a bow and arrow. Shoulders back, hips back, long spine, long torso, really toned core, feet grounded below you, and you're going to lift from the bottom to the top of the glute. You're just going to push up as you push down through the legs. So you're lifting up here and rooting down through here. If you can't do that, if you catch yourself doing this, if you catch yourself thrusting, notice how hard of a habit that is to break. So what I want you to do is put your hands on the chair, and it's okay to give yourself a little bit of a push to get up. But if you have a very weak, flimsy chair like this, you're going to know right away if you do that too much, because you're going to start tipping your chair. So you start, you tip your chair and you say, well, nope, that didn't work, and then you regain your alignment. And just keep trying, even if you can only get this far. Only get this far. I have so many people that work at this stage for a long time before they actually get really good downward thrust to lift up and then back down. So let's try that with the chair. If you can only do 3 or 4 of those, that's fine. Take it at your own speed. But if you can stand up 10 times, put your hands on your heart. Here's the key. Keep the arch in the back. Lift up into your hands. Push up through the heart and then down. Sorry for my head disappearing. Push up and down simultaneously from the waistline, up and down. Now again, you may only achieve 1 of these. That's all right. Very good. Hands down, sit up nice and tall. That's mildly aerobic, isn't it? Get you warmed up. All right, you're going to clasp your hands around your knee. Lift your knee up, arch your back. Stretch, pull the bow. Notice I'm not pulling my knee in. Now I'm going to tip forward, let my foot come down toward the floor, touch the floor, come back up. Teeter-totters, kind of like, I call this one the rocking horse. I'm just kind of loosening up the pelvic girdle. It gets stuck, that SI joint, those 2 little dimples at the top of your butt that make your butt look cute. That's the SI joint, the sacroilium. So where that comes together, if we're sitting and slumping all day, those get actually fused together. They seal together like that. And sometimes after a bit, you know, you get sciatica and sore back, and after a bit, they'll just freeze up. So this helps to keep them. This is a good thing to do, even if you're not exercising. At least do this a few times a day. So what I'm doing is rocking my pelvic, the pelvis area. Not lifting and lowering my knee. All right, now again, pull the bow, round, arch, round. Connect with the breath. Inhale, exhale. All right, now sit up nice and tall. Head to the left, head to the right, and then back to center. Release your hands down, and so what you should feel is alignment, ears, right over the shoulders, plumb line right over the hips. If I were standing, it'd be right over the ankles. So there's a tendency to lean forward, and there's certainly a tendency to jut the head forward. Okay, so keeping the bowstring, that nice arch in the back, you're going to come forward just a bit. Notice when I say come forward, the tendency to lead with the head. What I want you to think about is leading with the heart, like we did earlier. It's okay to put your hands here as a reminder, lifting through the heart. Now, what a beautiful metaphor for life. Lead with the heart. Open your heart. We get so inwardly focused on our own fears, on our own survival. We forget that we're all in this together. All right, begin to move the hands or keep them on your heart. By doing this, you're putting a little more load on this movement. So again, this is level 1. What I'm doing now is level 2. All right, now lean back a little more. Feel how your core engages. Come forward, but you have to keep the bowspring. You can't round or bring your head down. And then up, reach back. Forward. And then bring the hands back to the heart. Now, let's just touch the fingers to the shoulders. This kind of helps protect the shoulders if you have shoulder issues. And just begin to make circles with the elbows. Big circles. All right, go the other way. Feel that nice, juicy fluid coming in on the shoulder joints. Okay, now touch your elbows together. Just kind of tap them together, tap. You're feeling now your shoulder blades pulling apart and the muscle fibers between the shoulder blades stretching. Now, take your elbows back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep lifting the heart. Lifting and lengthening the torso, you'll feel this all down the back. Now, pull the elbows back. You can even unfurl the arms a little bit, palms forward, and relax the neck. Fingertips to the shoulders, elbows together. Now, forearms completely sealed all the way to the pinky fingers. Lift the elbows as high as you can without your elbows coming apart. If the elbows come apart, come down, and then try to keep them together as you lift. All right, take the arms wide. I call this radar hands. Just rotating the hands, lifting the heart. Bring them back together. Hands in Namaste now, elbows wide. Press hands together. Keep lifting from the lower belly up through the heart. Now imagine that you have this really stuck sliding door. I think we've all had one of those. Press your right hand so that it's in front of the right shoulder. Hold it there. Breathe. Now press your left hand as though it's stuck. Give it some good resistance until it's in front of the left shoulder. Breathe. Now repeat that. Right shoulder. Feel that dynamic resistance that creates the opening in the joints. And then back. Back to the heart. Now, bring the hands up. Stretch from the lower belly up. Back into Namaste. Rotate the fingers forward. Keeping the arch in the low back. Round the upper back. Pull the shoulder blades apart. It's hard to do that at the same time. So I'm not rounding like this. I'm lifting my heart. Back. Now, rotate the fingers down with the elbows wide. and just scoop down and come back up. Do that a couple of times. Now we'll do that series again. Fingers up, reach up, back to the heart. Keep breathing. Rotate out with the arch in the back, round the upper back. Back into Namaste. Now fingers down. Scoop. Back up. Okay, back to Namaste. Find your core. Relax your neck. Now bring your hands forward as though you just got a pizza delivered. And I like to imagine with this one actually, I'm just splashing water. Beautiful, cool water. I'm just splashing it on me. As you extend your hands, spread your fingers and engage your tricep muscles. And then touch your shoulders. Do that a few times. Keep your core. You're going to feel this in your shoulders. Right now, you're probably begging me to let you put your arms down. All right, take your elbows out to the side. And now open, touch your shoulders. Open, touch. Open, touch. Now, back to a nice goal post or cactus pose. You're going to stack your left elbow on top of your right, and what I want you to do is reach in two directions. Wiggle your fingers. Really try to get the elbows, it's like somebody's pulling your fingers apart and you're trying to get those elbows to stack. Now try this with me. Try to rotate the back of your hands together. And if you can, double cross. Now rotate your elbows, your arms over to the right and look over your left shoulder. Calm the breath, relax the neck. Keep lifting the heart. So right now you may be here, but let me give you a hint. If your arms don't stack and you wound up here and you're just doing this, you're really getting nowhere. You're better off staying at the level 1 and trying to get the arms to go from here to here. You with me? All right. Back to cactus pose. Heart forward and lifting. Chin up. Relax the neck. Keep breathing. All right, here we go. Cross the elbows. Stack them on top. So you might think, I'm just going to stay here and work on this because I'm ridiculously far from that. It's just tightness in the shoulders. Having your head forward a lot of the day will do that. And if you're spending more time on your computers, that's what's happening. All right, this is the next stage. Don't opt to take it unless you're ready. And then this is the final stage, double clasping. Now twist to the left. Look over your right shoulder. And then back to center, and we're just going to fly away. You know, one thing, because I am still working, I'm working at a senior community, and I'm really happy to be useful right now. But one thing I'm noticing as I'm driving to and from work is the air is amazing. I am seeing scenery, rows of mountains in the distance that I never saw before. There's just a brown haze. All right, now, left arm on top of right, give yourself a hug. Grab your shoulder blades. Now drop your chin as you lift your heart. Lift your chin. Stretch your chin up. Back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Look over your right shoulder. Back to center. Now I'm going to slide my arms This is the I Dream of Jeannie. Sit up tall, arch in the back, grounding through the feet. Now I'm just gonna, these are like big hippo jaws. Open and close, open and close. Try to keep the two lines parallel. Switch. We're going to do a little coordination game here. All right, switch, left arm on top again. Now, as you open the jaws, I want you to kick. So my left arm is on top, I'm kicking the left leg. Kick through the heel. Switch, right arm on top, kicking right leg. 1, 2, we're just doing 4 each. You've got that, right? All right, come back to center, grab the knees, pull the bow. Just notice each time you come back to center how much you've lost. It's okay, just notice. All right, here we go. Left arm on top again. Now you're just gonna open and close the door. When you come up, I want you to try to open a little past vertical this way, right? And not just with your fingers. Try to feel that in the shoulder. Do a couple of those. All right, switch. Other side. Really roll into that. Remember to breathe slow and deep in your breath, all the way into your lungs. Okay, left arm on top. Now, when I open my arm, I'm going to pivot my leg to the side and back. 2, 3, 4. Other side. 1, 2. I'm pivoting my leg open. I'm not just kicking my leg out. It's a pivot. All right, other side. Now we're going to combine the two. Ready? Open and extend. Close. Pivot. Close. Kick. Close. Pivot. Close. You've got this. Open. Close. Pivot. Close. Bring the bottom arm all the way down. Open. Close. Pivot. Close. Other side. Ready? Right arm on top, kicking right leg. Open, close, pivot, close, open, close, pivot. You have to think about this. You can't do it mindlessly, can ya? Last one. Open, pivot. All right, now let's take the hands and raise the roof. Big stretch of the back if you want. Stand up, sit down. If not, just hold your arms over your head. All right, now you have a chance to give yourself a nice little cool down here. Elbows forward, not wide, bring them forward. Come up on your tiptoes, edge of the chair. Pull the bow. Oh, this is so healing. Twist to the left, lift your elbows and lift your gaze. Back to center. Twist to the right, heart lifting, gaze up. Feel that all down your back, back to center. You know, whenever I say it's a beginning or a basic class, sometimes that means it's even harder because you have to return to the basics. You can't do them mindlessly. All right, do some straight arm, really engage your muscles to the bone. polish the windows. All right, now a couple more in-flight movements, leading with your wrist. Now you're going to cross your arms, so my arms are doing this, only behind my back, and then just kind of lean back. That's a deep shoulder stretch. Change the cross, put the other arm on top. I was doing that push-up challenge and last night as I went to bed, I was really feeling it in my shoulder. I had to put some pain cream on it, and this is feeling really good. This is really working the kinks out of it today. All right, we always have to end with the hip stretch. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, brace the foot, pull the bow. If you can keep the bowstring, I want you to try to come forward. Notice your tendency to lead with your heart, to collapse the chest. Get used to elongating and pulling upward like a flower toward the sun. And just like a flower, of course, you have to root down in order to lift. And I ease myself. I can go a little deeper into this because I practice it every day. But because I've been walking a lot, boy, I lose a lot of flexibility. Take your left hand, grab a hold of the ball of the left foot without pulling it back. Push through the ball of the left foot. Feel this stretch, feel this twist. Reach around behind you. Inhale back to center, and then leading with the heart, upright. Other side. Floink the foot, pull the bow. I know I use a lot of terminology, but if you go back and watch all of the videos, I try to explain one or two things in each one, so I'm not over-explaining in all of them. Pretty soon you'll know the terminology, what I mean. When I say pull the bow, you'll just automatically do that. Work your way into it, deepening the breath, slowing that breath down, slowing the mind down. It feels good, it feels useful to use your body, doesn't it? To move it and to breathe deep, to do something healing so that you're not just sitting there feeling helpless, hopeless. You're doing something positive. All right. Reach across with your right hand, grab your right foot, and twist. Back to center. Give it one last pull of the bow, root the feet down. Let's do a few things with our hands. Press the hands into Namaste. We're going to make a daisy. Keeping the palms of the hands together, pull the fingers apart. And then back. Now keeping the palms of the hands together, just bend the knuckles. Keeping the fingertips together. Back to Namaste. Now make a ball. Heels of the hands and fingertips together, making the perfectest round ball I can make. Then keeping the pinky and the thumbs touching, as well as the heel of the hand, just the middle three fingers come apart. This is the lotus. See the lotus? Back to Namaste. powerful. My body has everything it needs to heal, stay strong. No matter what comes at me, I will survive. I have all the love and all the power within me. With gratitude and great, great love. Namaste.